This is CBC Here and Now.
Investigators have determined that the death of this 41-year-old man from St. John's was homicide.
Police are looking for witnesses and evidence in the death of a man in Kilbride yesterday.
What started out as a normal hike ended with a shocking discovery. Racist graffiti on the Manuels River Trail. That's just ahead.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Police are investigating after a man died under suspicious circumstances. The RNC was called to this home in the Kilbride area around 2:30 yesterday morning, where they found a 41-year-old man seriously injured. He was taken to hospital but died. Police are treating it as a homicide and say it was not random. The RNC says it's looking to hear from anyone with information or who saw suspicious activity between 2 and 3 Tuesday morning.
The investigation is related to the events leading to this man's death. So any information that can help us would, be welcomed. I mean, there's really no pinpoint or limit to what might be valuable. Anything that might lead us in the right direction. It could be a vehicle or a person or just sounds, noises that you may feel are valuable to our investigation.
Well, now to some politics. The opposition is accusing the provincial government of secrecy by delaying the release of key cabinet decisions. Here Now's Peter Cowan is with us live from the newsroom. So Peter, what are they talking about there?
Well, Carolyn, when Cabinet makes decisions like appointing people to positions, they issue an order in council. Those are supposed to be posted online, but when a local news outlet, All Newfoundland and Labrador, digged into them, they found that many of them weren't being posted. For example, government appointed Brendan Paddock, a personal friend to the Premier, to chair the Churchill River Energy Analysis Team, looking at what to do with Churchill Falls after 2041, something it hadn't publicly announced. It wasn't until the Information and Privacy Commissioner stepped in that, for example, another contract announcing $150 million for Bell to provide an emergency radio service was made public. So the fact that this information wasn't released is concerning to the opposition.
When decisions are being made that impact the people of this province, when decisions are being made that have an impact financially on the people of this province, and when decisions are being made that would have an impact on the future of this province, the people of this province should know what's happening. And we're not getting down in the weeds and saying every little minute detail has to be shared, but people need to know that their government are doing work for them, and what they're doing is going to be in the best interest of the people of this province in the long run.
So one of those orders that was only released after this investigation was removed the head of the provincially run Centre for Health Information, Stephen Clark. He was in charge when hackers took down much of the province's health infrastructure in the fall. At the time government let him go, they refused to even confirm that he was gone, and now a delayed order in council confirms it was Cabinet that fired him.
In this case, to me, it was a simple answer. If somebody had been dismissed from their responsibilities in a particular Crown agency or a program within government, why would they not share that? They don't have to give the rational reasons why or what other specific things there, but they denied. We asked the same questions in the House here and couldn't get a clear answer.
Now, in a statement, the Premier didn't address why so many of those orders weren't posted until up to 6 months later, instead targeting the opposition leader, saying Mr. Brazel is aware of what he calls secret government activities because our government shares them publicly. The statement then went on to blame the PCs for Muskrat Falls, but didn't explain the delay in posting the information. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Peter Cowan for Here and Now.
Well, another warm welcome for 177 Ukrainian refugees arriving in St. John's last night after a very long flight. Families, some with children, some with pets, are now ready to build a new life in Canada.
It was really good, really good. We are really thankful to everybody because everybody helped us. And we are so happy that Canada is open for us, for Ukrainian.
We are very glad, me and my family, to arrive here in Newfoundland, and we hope that your province will be our future home, not in the meaning like building a house, but a place where we live happily and safely, and also We dream to become a real friends of local inhabitants.
This is the second flight chartered by the government of Newfoundland and Labrador. All arriving Ukrainians have been granted the Canada-Ukraine Authorization for Emergency Travel Visa. This allows them to live and work in Canada for up to 3 years. We'll hear more from the newcomers in about 10 minutes on Here and Now.
Temperatures much nicer today in most areas of eastern Newfoundland. About 16 degrees earlier today in St. John's, 10 in Bonavista, and those temperatures just get warmer as you head towards the west coast. But take a look at Labrador. Another absolutely gorgeous day. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 25 degrees today. 26 in Lab City. That's the warmest temperature you've seen since last August. So definitely liking that weather. We're going to see a lot more of that, at least for the next couple of days. We're sitting under a ridge of high pressure right now. That area of low pressure that brought the potential for rain yesterday has moved off now. And we can see that cloud cover clearing, and it is going to be an absolutely beautiful evening, although under clear skies and calm winds, we are seeing those temperatures dropping. So hovering around 9-10 degrees right now in St. John's, but there is a frost warning for the Avalon, Bonavista Peninsula, as well as Clarenville tonight. Temperatures expected to drop to around 3 degrees, but areas in those low-lying areas rather could see some frost. I'll get into the full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. A disturbing discovery along the Manuels River Trail in Conception Bay South. Racist graffiti covered an outdoor area. The Anti-Racism Coalition says it's more than just a single incident. It's a sign of a social problem. Here Now's Henrika Wilhelm reports.
I was walking like I do every day here, and I decided to stop here because I saw some graffiti, and when I saw, I was like disgusted.
The graffiti is now gone from the wooden beams, but not from the mind of some who have seen the slurs.
I don't even have the words to describe. I felt really like concerned because I have kids that goes to school nearby, and my instinct was like, I'd like to delete it myself. I'd like to erase it myself.
When things like this happen, it makes us a community, it weakens us as a community. It really does. It makes, especially the BIPOC community, it makes us feel as if we're undervalued, unwanted, and unsafe.
Who's responsible isn't known, but doesn't matter, they say.
As Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, we have to do better. Do we want our kids to inherit all these things that we're dealing with today? Do we really want that? That's the question that they have to ask themselves. We do not want our kids to inherit as much of this baggage, this weight that we're carrying. That's our hope from, as a black man, that's my hope from my boys and my daughter.
I think we should talk more about with our kids at home. It's not only a school problem, it's not education from school, I think it's from home too.
For Estik, the graffiti is only one part of a bigger social issue.
Hate crime is on the rise right across Canada. If you look at hate crimes that were reported, right, over the last year, almost 3,000, 2,600 and change, right? Of that 2,600, how many do you believe were ethnically motivated? 1,500 of them, right? That's an astronomical number, and it's increasing here in Newfoundland leaps and bounds.
I just hope that we don't see this anymore, and not only here but anywhere. So I hope this can be a start of a conversation.
Estik believes the onus is on both the federal and provincial governments to stop hate crimes, but also that every single person is responsible for making change. Henrika Wilhelm, CBC News, Conception Bay South.
Well, 3 people have died from COVID in this province in the past week. The province released the weekly numbers today. All 3 of those who died were in their 70s. 1 was living in the Eastern Health area and 2 were in the Western Health region. The number of people in hospital is up as well, more than triple that of last week. 14 people are in hospital, up from 5 the week before. 4 of those are in critical care as well. Officials found 500 more cases of COVID in the past week. Well, St. John's doctor has been reprimanded for negligence following the death of a newborn in 2019. That's according to an agreed statement of facts read at the College of Physicians and Surgeons Tribunal hearing yesterday. And a warning, the story deals with the death of an infant. Here Now's Mark Quinn reports.
In 2019, Dr. Krista Brown was the obstetrician caring for a 38-year-old woman having her first child. The child, a daughter named Carly, died shortly after she was delivered on January 19th. College lawyer Ruth Trask read a statement of facts at yesterday's hearing. In part, it said, Dr. Brown acknowledges that her care of the patient, and in particular her failure to appreciate the significance of the fetal heart tracing of the patient's infant daughter on January 18, 2019, and the consequent need for urgent intervention, demonstrated errors in judgment. A victim impact statement written by the child's mother was also read at the hearing yesterday. Part of it said, something that was supposed to have been one of the happiest days of our lives quickly turned into one of the most traumatizing situations I have ever experienced. Brown was ordered to pay $10,000 towards the cost of the proceedings. She was also reprimanded and ordered to pay for professional development courses about management of a delivery and communication with patients. CBC News spoke with Carly's mother today. Carly's mother says Brown never spoke with her after the delivery and didn't offer her condolences. She said it was left to her partner to tell her that her child had died. Carly's mother isn't pleased with the outcome of the college hearing, and she doesn't believe the sanctions Brown was given were adequate. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
People in search of a place to rent on the Avalon aren't having much luck these days. Earlier this month, this picture posted online showed a lineup of people waiting just to see a rental unit. Hundreds of people have found themselves in search of a place to rent and nowhere to go. A community housing group says the situation was bad before the pandemic and is getting worse, which means some renters could be stuck with nowhere to go.
I've been looking since about February, and there's basically been no response. There's been so much interest in the homes, or so many people looking, that you can't even get the people to respond, or and actually be able to go in to look. You can't get anybody to respond to your messages. I've actually only been able to get a response from one person to view a spot, so I haven't had any luck at all.
We're going to dig into this topic a bit more in about 15 minutes on Here and Now. We'll hear more from the tenant, a landlord, and a housing support worker about what's happening in the rental market right now. Well, in other news, the makers of Big Mary's are adding burritos to its business portfolio. Mary Brown's parent company, MB International Brands, has acquired the Fat Bastard Burrito Company. By adding the 75 burrito locations across Ontario to the 215 stores Mary Brown's already has, MB International Brands becomes one of the largest privately held fast food companies in Canada. A press release sent out this morning says both Canadian companies will complement each other as the two are leaders in their respective food fields. The transaction is expected to close at the end of this month, and a spokesperson for Mary Brown's says the plan is to expand Fat Bastard's burritos outside of Ontario.
Thomas now drives. Free throw line, pull up, Jay.
The Newfoundland Growlers' shaky start to the season continues. Despite a 20-point performance from Brandon Sampson, 19 from newcomer Terry Thomas, and 18 from Shaquille Keith, the team was down early and couldn't bounce back. The 89-82 loss to the Guelph Nighthawks leaves the Growlers sitting at the bottom of standings with an 0-6 record, the only team left in the league yet to win a game. The team is back in action on Thursday in Hamilton. Well, a huge celebration of Indigenous peoples and cultures is right around the corner. CBCNL will have extensive coverage of National Indigenous Peoples Day next Tuesday, June 21st. An urban powwow is happening in St. John's, and we want to introduce you to one of the local groups who are performing. They're called Wabeg Muen, and they're a men's drum group. But as you'll see, they're about a lot more than just the music.
Playing on the drum is really good for the soul. When you get on the drum, there's a certain respect that comes with it that makes you feel like you're carrying some sort of responsibility. Being on the drum is a great honor. I love spending time on the drum, especially with all my drum brothers as well.
All right, so this is White Skies. This is an intertribal powwow song. My name is Michael Johnson, and I'm a drummer with Wabeg Muen. We're a First Nations and All Nations drum group. We get together, try to get together every week and drum on the First Nations drum, the men's drum, the warrior drum we call it. This is our medicine. This is how we get together and heal. And now we're playing more powwows and more cultural events, which is great. Which is like a cultural revival that we're a part of, and we're seeing lots more of these drum groups come up, and it's just really it's really great to see and great to be a part of that.
I was born in Steve Mill, raised up in Cotton River, and I've always been around the drum, big drum, hand drums. Each song got a different meaning to it, right? Each song is meant for something different. What our group tries to do with our songs is we try to keep in mind what the meaning is. So when we're singing it, we're having a really good time singing it, but like we're also thinking about the meaning of the song and what it means. Like Strong Women's song. We sing that for all the strong women in our life and all the women who need strength.
My name is Christopher Kurisuda Ray Mullet. I'm drumming with Wabeg Muen. I've been in with it since 2014. I'm actually a two-spirit person with autism, and sometimes we do have sensory issues with the drum. But like, you know, it's like as soon as I feel like a positive energy, I'm able to like, you know, forget about the sensory issues and enjoy the music. It's like music therapy is what it is.
You know, I was taught that the drum is, you know, the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and you know, when you get around the drum, you know, it's to honor your people and to honor, you know, everyone around you. And getting on the drum is not just drumming songs, but it's a good thing to do for others. And you're on the drum as a warrior, you know, to kind of give back to other people. I think it's great that we're kind of getting this on the go again, and you know, bringing the culture to more people and becoming more relevant, I guess, in the community. We're playing a lot more shows. It's a lot of fun.
You started off again.
Well, talking about community and coming together as a community, we are playing at the National Indigenous Peoples Day on Tuesday, June 21st. And it's going to be a great time. It's celebration of Indigenous people, and an indication that we're not going anywhere. Our culture is only coming back and come back stronger, and we can't wait. We can't wait to play there. Through Indigenous knowledge, the teachings that I've gotten is that the drum calls people together. We have become brothers, and to drum Mother Earth's beat, to think about the ancestors at the same time, everybody's ancestors, we're calling them, we're singing to them, we're bringing their energy forward. It really does light up your life.
Well, another drumming group performed at an awards ceremony recently in Labrador. The Drummer's Heartbeat was featured at the Generation Legacy Awards ceremony, a community event that honored seniors and elders. Rafsan Farouk Jugal has that story for us tonight.
The Generation Legacy Award was held at the Labrador Interpretation Center, an event to recognize the work done by seniors and elders in the community.
So today we put together a project called Generation Legacy, and it was put together to honor the individuals that you saw here tonight for their contributions to developing their communities. There's been decades of volunteerism work done, and most of it is volunteer work. So to capture that and recognize those individuals was very important to us.
All the recipients were either from Northwest River or the Sheheji Innu First Nation. There were 7 recipients for this award. They are Wilbert Montague, Isabel Watts, Robert Watts, Robin Goodfellow Bakey, Elizabeth Panashwe, Ernie McNeil, and Julia Chalk. The event wasn't just about recognizing the contribution of the seniors and elders. It was also about the future leaders of the community. The Drummer's Heartbeat was the headlining act.
They did fantastic. I'm very proud of them. They did better than I expected even.
The group from Lake Melville School performed 3 different sets. For many of the students, this is their first time learning how to drum.
It teaches, self-discipline. It teaches self-esteem, self-worth, and their confidence grows as they perform more.
Gerarcy first learned how to drum at the age of 13, and passing on this knowledge is very important to her. For her, it's important to have an Inuit drumming group performing in public when the tradition has been banned in the past.
It's not just about teaching them drum dancing, it's also about teaching them a bit of their culture. Right. Drum dancing was once banned, so it is finally starting to come back to life. It is very important for them to know this because of a lot of these young students, young teenagers, some of them haven't never seen a drum performance before.
The group has plans to do more public performances in the future, but for now, they're enjoying this performance in front of an appreciative audience. Rafsan Farouk Jugo, CBC News, Northwest River.
Well, the clouds have cleared, and that's going to be a clear night through the night tonight, even tomorrow. Some of us may see a few showers, but I'll get into the full forecast coming up.
would call today a pleasant day in our neck of the woods. It was like comfortable temperatures, some sunshine, very nice.
Finally, yeah,
Yes.
we saw a nice warmer day. Temperature hit 16 degrees, but that was earlier today, and it was only for about an hour. In the St. John's area, but I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, me too.
I'll tell you where it is absolutely gorgeous though, Labrador. Take a look at those temperatures today, 25 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay. We've been seeing some nice weather the last couple of days, and then we do have some 20-degree temperatures across the island, 21 in Badger, 24 in Deer Lake. Temperatures even in Marystown sitting at 21 degrees. But the hot spot was Lab City today at 26 degrees. But unfortunately, we're going to see these 20-degree temperatures stick around until Friday, and then they drop like a rock as we get towards the weekend. And this is where that potential for some snow is going to happen. And we've been talking about that for the last couple of days. And then about 13 degrees by the time we get into Monday. So definitely a roller coaster ride for you. Your average temperature should be sitting around 17 this time of year. So definitely soak up the temperatures while you have them. Still sitting at 25 degrees for Lab City right now. Same thing for Happy Valley Goose Bay, and another beautiful evening tonight. Corner Brook currently sitting at 20 degrees. The cooler temperatures though, further east you go. Cape Race, Bonavista, both sitting at 8 degrees at the moment. So we are sitting under a big ridge of high pressure, so not a whole lot of weather to talk about. And the winds were a bit breezy earlier today, but since that low has moved off now, we should actually see those winds ease as we head through the night tonight. Just a little bit of cloud cover for the west coast. Other than that, nothing really. And that is going to lead to a cool and clear night tonight for a good chunk of eastern areas of the island. Up across Labrador, you're still looking at that chance of a few showers through the overnight, but other than that, the showers will move towards southeastern Labrador as we get into the early morning hours on Thursday. Taking a look at what's going on, since we are sitting under clear skies tonight, under calm winds, there is a good chance of some frost tonight, mainly the Avalon, Burin Peninsula, Bonavista Peninsula. You may see that as well, but the best chance will be in those low-lying areas. So Environment Canada has issued a frost warning for the Avalon, Clarenville, as well as Bonavista. And again, temperatures tonight expected to be fairly chilly, talking about 2-3 degrees, but lower-lying areas may get close to that 0-degree mark, hence that risk of frost. So if you do have them out or some frost-sensitive plants out, just make sure you water them, then cover them, and then take it off tomorrow morning. But as far as the rest of the island goes tonight, your temperatures will be chilly as well, between 6 and 9 degrees, a little warmer for the southwest, about 12 degrees for Port aux Basques, but all of us will see those light winds through the night tonight. As far as Labrador goes, the best chance of showers, like I said, will be in Lab West. 13 degrees overnight for you, but otherwise between 4 and 8 degrees for the rest of the big land under partly cloudy skies through the night tonight. Now, as we head through tomorrow, pretty much a carbon copy of today, except much warmer, which will be good. We may see a few showers for Labrador and southeastern, or central Labrador rather, and southeastern portions, and then don't be surprised to see a few showers pop up through central. They should just pop up in the afternoon once these temperatures rise. If that trigger is there, we may see a few showers. They'll move through fairly quickly though, and then into the evening hours we should see some more clearing, more showers expected in Lab City as we head through the overnight into early Saturday morning as those showers continue to work their way across Labrador. Now, as far as temperatures go tomorrow, 20 degrees in St. John. Should be a beautiful afternoon. Winds will be a bit breezy though. Out of the south, about 30 kilometers per hour, 20 to 30 kilometers per hour is what we're expecting. So that means areas along southern Avalon will see those cooler temperatures. So only around 12 degrees for you tomorrow. Warmer even still as we head towards central. There's that chance of showers I have in for Grand Falls, Windsor. Twillingate, you should hit around 26 degrees tomorrow. Absolutely beautiful. Harbor Breton, you're looking at the chance of a few showers, sunshine mainly, but the chance of a few showers. 18 degrees will be the afternoon high for you. As we head towards the west coast, winds will be out of the west around 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, but absolutely gorgeous. Anywhere from 26 to 28 degrees. Southern areas may be a bit cooler than that. Northern Peninsula looking beautiful as well, but there's that chance of showers I was talking about for southeastern Labrador. So 26 degrees though, beautiful. Winds out of the southwest between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. And there's that elusive 30-degree mark potentially for Happy Valley Goose Bay. So an absolutely beautiful day on tap. Again, temperatures are going to drop as we head through the weekend, and I'll get into that forecast when I come back.
St. John's International Airport was buzzing last night as another chartered plane full of Ukrainian refugees arrived. It's the second flight from Poland carrying refugees fleeing the war in Ukraine. 177 people were on board that flight, and we spoke with some of them.
Welcome. Hi, how are you?
It was really good, really good. We are really thankful to everybody because everybody helped us. And we are so happy that Canada is open for us, for Ukrainian. I'm gonna do art here, Ukrainian art. Amazing. I'm designer and TV presenter also in Ukraine.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? I welcome you.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Today I feel happy. Right now, we are very glad, me and my family, to arrive here in Newfoundland, and we hope that your province will be our future home. Not in the meaning like building a house, but a place where we live happily and safely, and also we dream to become a real friends of local inhabitants, because our hometown was occupied by Russian troops because of Putin's invasion of Ukraine, and we were forced to escape from so-called Russian world. Now we are here and we are happy.
Let me just mention my family. It's my wife's father and brother who are defended Ukraine and serve in Ukraine army, and we are with them in our thoughts, and we hope we will win this war, and God bless Ukraine and Canada. And thank you so much for your help. We are really happy to be there and to be a part of Canada.
I'm hearing really positive things. It amazes me how quickly people have connected. There's lots of people that have stepped up and said, I have a room in my home, or I have a basement apartment, I have a home. Last Friday, an individual who is giving us a fully furnished house for a year, maybe more, welcomed a family into her home, and they're just about to have a baby, and she's covering a lot of their costs. It's an amazing thing what we've seen in this community. People are so generous.
Like I may have to look into going to a shelter.
A St. John's woman is struggling to even get a call back from landlords advertising rental units, let alone actually view an apartment. She shares her story coming up after the break. Well, tonight we're having a look at the rental market right now. It's challenging times for anyone who's looking to rent a place in the metro area. Demand is way up and supply is limited. Joining me now is someone who knows that firsthand. Melissa Pearson has been looking for a place for months. Melissa, we're here in your downtown apartment. Tell us why you have to move.
Well, my landlord's actually moving back into the home July 1st, so I need to make other accommodations.
And what has your experience been like looking for a place in St. John's?
I've been looking since about February, and there's basically been like no response. Like there's been so much interest in the homes, or so many people looking that you can't even get the people to respond.
I saw your mom posted a photo in Mount Pearl of a viewing that was happening. Huge number of people outside. It was a really extraordinary example of the demand. What did you think when you saw that?
Even when you actually pulled up onto the street, you could see the high volume of vehicles parked on the road. People were actually waiting in their vehicles as well as, lined up outside the house. I was shocked, completely shocked. I knew because the apartment was posted for $800 and there was such a high demand that somebody was probably offering this landlord more than that because there's such desperation. I think it's a crisis, honestly, because it's just, I've seen it's not just me, there's so many other people that are in my situation or have already been in shelters because they're in my situation. And not only that, but I think the Airbnbs, people are, changing to short-term rentals, and there's a lot less rentals on the market right now. I've been on the NL housing waiting list as well for over a year and a half, so I've been on the phone with them. They know my situation, and they basically told me there's no accommodations available. There's only accommodations available in Placentia and Avondale right now, so it's really hard for people like me that are in a low income situation, that need affordable housing.
And on the other side of this, landlords are also noticing a dramatic increase in demand. I spoke with Haley McLean, who listed an apartment for rent in Paradise, and she was shocked by how many people responded.
So we actually had just over 400, just a few over 400 people message me on my Facebook ad. And then I had my email attached as well, and then my phone number. So my phone was just exploding from all of my social media, phone number, everything pretty much.
400 people. What did you make of that?
It was pretty crazy. Like the first couple that came in, I was like, oh great, like someone messaged, I was excited. And then it wouldn't stop.
Were there any stories that people told you that jumped out at you? Any people who applied, who talked about their situation that made an impression on you?
Yeah, I had a couple single moms that really, touched my heart. They haven't been able to find a place because of being a single parent. It's been difficult. And we had a lot of people who were a family with 3 and 4 children who were willing to rent just 2 bedrooms. Another sweet elderly couple really wanted the place because they haven't been able to find anywhere for like retirement. So they were asking if I'd be able to provide snow clearing and whatnot.
What is that like for you, having all of these people contact you? Clearly, some of them are just desperate for a place to live. What's that like for you?
Yeah, I found it pretty emotional because a lot of people were telling me way more than I would ever need to know. All I needed to know was how many parking spaces do you need? Do you have pets? Because it is pet-friendly property. So all of a sudden I'm getting people, begging, like, please, could you pick me? I'll send you double the amount that you require. I'll come to your house tonight with cash. People wanted to come to my house like immediately.
So those are the stories of one tenant and one landlord in the metro area. But how common are those experiences, and what factors are at play in the rental market right now? Joining me now is Hope Jameson, Program Manager with the Community Housing Transformation Centers. How typical are these experiences right now?
I would say it's a growing trend. We saw between October of 2020 and October of 2021 the vacancy rate in our rental market in the St. John's area drop by over half, from 7.1 to 3.4%. Now, by national standards, that's still considered relatively healthy, but the hidden part of that story is in our rental market we have a little bit of a mismatch between the demand for specific types of units versus the units that are on offer. So our average renter household is 1 to 2 people, whereas most of the units, over 60%, are 2 and 3 bedroom. So we see there's much higher demand for those smaller units.
What can those people do? What's the solution for them?
So at the structural level, the solution is an investment in community-led and community-held housing. Of course, the people who are renting on the private market landlords, they're playing the rules of the game as they currently exist, right? They're not doing anything wrong, but I think there needs to be a shift to a focus on units that are developed and held by the community in perpetuity. We see the nonprofit sector, the co-op sector, really punching well above their weight in terms of their ability to provide affordable units long term. So we need to invest in those sectors so that they continue to do what they do best.
Do you see any signs of this letting up?
I fear that these conditions will get worse. We're seeing a growing influx of interest in acquisition of property in St. John's, especially from financialized landlords who are living out of province.
So those are people who live away and are basically investing in properties here to rent out to people.
That's correct. And at present, 52% of our rental units in Newfoundland and Labrador are held by real estate investment trusts.
So how much of this is in government's court?
So there are roles to play at every level of government. The city can do things in terms of zoning, in terms of support with in-kind contributions like land, waiving development fees, things like this. The provincial government often has to put up some money to access federal dollars, and that's been an enormous problem over the past couple of decades. Like most funding from the feds comes with a condition that there's some kind of matching funds from provincial or municipal governments. And in the absence of a willingness to provide that, we leave that money on the table. So the province needs to participate in order to access funding from the federal government. So there is a place for all levels of government to come in here, and there has to be a commitment and a coordination between them to really make it happen.
Well, you've heard about music and friends. How about music and flowers? We'll tell you about a special event tomorrow here at the Munn Botanical Garden. Well, check out these gorgeous flowers. Welcome back to Here and Now. I'm at the Munn Botanical Garden. There's a special event that's starting here tomorrow, and I'm joined by the director, Kim Sharp. So, Kim, what's happening here tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we have our Booming in the Blooms event, which we're so excited for.
And you better describe it, because this is just one rhododendron here, these beautiful pink flowers. There's more than one here.
We have a couple more, almost 200 or a little bit over 200 rhododendrons in the garden.
And so this event will allow people to do what?
Well, in addition to being in this beautiful space enjoying our June rhododendrons, there will be performers scattered throughout the garden, and you'll be able to hear the sounds wafting through the garden.
So who are these musicians who'll be hidden among the flowers?
They're part of our Memorial community. Students and professors here at Memorial will be performing for us Thursday.
Now, this is just one of the events that's going on here this year. Can you give me a sense of how this fits into what other activities the garden has planned?
Absolutely. Well, it's Year of the Garden, and so we have a whole host of events, but this is one of our big events to kick it off. And so Saturday is National Garden Day, and on Saturday we will be having a Family Bloom Day as part of our Festival of Blooms.
Now, for those of us who aren't gifted with a green thumb, or any kind of thumb, what is it about rhododendrons that seems to get people who like flowers so excited?
Well, they're really, really beautiful, and they actually have a long bloom time. And so we have some here in the garden that start blooming in April, and we have others that will bloom all the way through until August. So there's always something new to see here. And here at the Botanical Garden, we have a couple of one-of-a-kind rhododendrons as well that our horticulturalists have created.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, I can't exactly tell you how they do it because apparently there's a bit of a secret sauce. But they take a variety of different species and they propagate them together to create one of a kind. And so here at the Botanical Garden, the goal was to actually take some of these ones that grow so big and create some dwarf rhododendrons.
So does this make kind of a rare genus of the plant, or?
It's a hybrid, so it still falls within the same family, but they are one of a kind hybrids.
Okay. And what does that alter? The color, the duration, everything?
Yeah, everything. The foliage, the size of the leaf. Some of them are really cute and are white and fuzzy. Some, like this one, actually fades from pink to white as it goes through the season. So yeah, there's a lot of mix there.
So what was the idea behind taking the combination of all these beautiful rhododendrons you have here and tucking musicians in? So what was the concept?
Well, it's such an amazing space, and it comes to life when there is also sound in the music, in the garden. And music is just, especially the talent that we have at Memorial and in this province, it's a wonderful way to showcase Memorial in a different way.
Now, we're going to meet one of the musicians in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. But I just want to get a sense of what's the time frame, what can people do, how long is it open?
Absolutely. Well, tomorrow night is our first Twilight Thursday, which is a spectacular time to come and see the garden. The light is amazing. So from 6 to 8, you will see performers. There's 9 of them scattered in amongst the blooms, and it's just general admission, so everyone's welcome.
Well, Kim, it sounds like a very zen, relaxing kind of evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A very interesting instrument in the hands of David Bewley. So what is this thing?
This is called a hurdy-gurdy, and it's a replica of a medieval instrument. Been around for a while. This one hasn't been around for a while, but the instrument has been around for a while. And it's a string instrument and a keyboard instrument at the same time. It's kind of cool.
All right, so I'm kind of confused by accordions, and it's also got a crank.
It has a crank. So you can sort of see in here that there's a wheel there, and there are strings, and when I crank the wheel, the string vibrates. So it's kind of like pulling a bow across a violin, but the crank does it. And then there's keys here. So I'm playing sort of underneath the keyboard, and they're called tangents, and they touch the strings and make the strings shorter. So it's kind of like putting your fingers on the violin, except
I'm pretty sure I could actually invite you to go on a tangent to explain everything about this instrument, but where do you learn to play something like this?
I just kind of taught myself. I've always loved the sound of them, and I had one made, and that's it. So just had to go.
Listen, I wish you the best tomorrow night. I'm sure that people who come here are going to have a great time. Beautiful flowers, very interesting music, and I think you've sold me on the drone sound. It's kind of, it has that medieval, those chords sound.
That or just the sounds of the world around us. And sometimes the drones attract birds and people will come, other things will come and maybe sing with me. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, listen, good luck tomorrow night. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here. Thanks.
Sounds kind of like an accordion and an organ put together. Our thanks to Anthony Germain from CBC Radio's On the Go for that piece. And if you're interested in attending, here are the details. It's tomorrow evening from 6 to 8. Entry is $6, but you can also get a family pass. Children under 5, season pass holders and MUN students get in for free.
Well, as we head towards the weekend, the weather is looking like it will be pretty nice for most of us, especially on Friday. The warm temperatures are going to stick around for the west coast through central. We're talking 25, 26 degrees. They'll drop a little bit the further east we go. St. John should sit around 18 degrees through most of the day with lots of sunshine on Friday. So a little bit cooler than what we're going to see tomorrow, but still an absolutely beautiful day. Things start to get a bit unsettled up across the big land though. 21 degrees degrees in Lab City, but you are looking at that chance of showers, and then the temperatures are going to drop. So Nain, into the evening hours, even though your daytime highs will be around 14 degrees, there is a chance we could see a few flurries through the evening hours. So we're looking through the night on Friday and then into Saturday, things will just become progressively more unsettled for the island. So we are looking at that chance of showers. Should hold off on the showers through most of the day for eastern Newfoundland, but as we head to the evening hours, that's when we're going to see that chance of showers move in. But again, temperatures are going to sit in the teens through the day. So they're going to drop for central and the west coast. Temperatures should sit between 12 and 19 degrees. This time, the warmest temperatures will be in the east at 19 degrees for St. John's. As far as Labrador goes, this is when that big drop in temperature moves in down to the single digits, which is well below where you should be sitting this time of year, about 10 degrees, in fact, for Lab City. And in behind that is where we're going to see that chance of some snow. Likely not too much in the way of accumulation, but we still could see some of that in the mix. So through Sunday morning, we'll still see that chance, but by Monday that should end for the most part for most of Labrador, except it is going to stay unsettled. We're still looking at that chance of showers right even through Tuesday. So taking a look at the long range forecast, it's going to be into the teens for most of us as we head towards the end of the weekend. Still staying unsettled for western Newfoundland as well, between 17 and 18 degrees for central and around 15 degrees for the west coast. The rest of Labrador, you're looking at your temperatures down into the single digits, but rebounding by the time we get into Monday with some sun for you in the west. Here's a look at a sunrise in the Cadre Valley. Thank you to Sandra for that. If you have any weather photos, you can send them to my Facebook page, Twitter, or nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, that is stunning, those clouds.
It's a great sunrise. Love it when we see those.
Yeah. Get a lot of sunsets, not as many
do.
sunrises.
That's right. Early risers catch those ones.
Yeah, sometimes the most beautiful ones,
That's
too.
right.
Well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Good night.